Good morning, Coolest Coast. It is time for Coffee with Kristin and Tina. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this episode of Coffee with Kristin and Tina. We're your hosts this morning. This is Kristin Odell of KLO. I'm Tina Prigge of Vagabond Creative Studio. So good to see you this morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. So, Kristin, last week we were talking about some classic commercials, and I do have one pulled up because I'm wondering if you're feeling at all like a pepper this morning.
Am I feeling like a pepper? Can I tell you when I'm done watching this?
Yes, let's see if any of us are feeling like peppers this morning. Here we go. And wait, here we go.
Hey, looky, the new rookie. This squad's special. What's special about you?
I'm full of surprises. I'm master of disguises, and I'm quick on the draw. Fastest pepper you ever saw.
All right, we're peppers too.
I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, we're a pepper, she's a pepper. Wouldn't you like to be a pepper too? I'm a pepper, he's a pepper.
Dr. Peppers, what's up, Doc?
If you drink Dr. Pepper, you're a pepper too. Be a pepper, drink Dr. Pepper, be a pepper.
So what do you think? Are you a pepper? Do you feel like a pepper?
I feel like a pepper today. I could be a pepper.
That song was like partially an anthem, I think, of my childhood. That used to run on a loop, those commercials.
Oh my gosh. I don't think I've ever seen that commercial. And I thought it was fabulous. And I love that Bugs Bunny made an appearance.
Yeah. That was to appeal to like all the demographics, right? That was to make sure that.
So that just makes your heart sing when you watch that. It's like reminiscing your childhood.
Yes. Tim said he is definitely a pepper. That's how he goes into work every day.
We never doubted you for 1 second, Tim.
As a matter of fact, I can remember distinctly having a little tank top that was white with like red trim, and then it had puffy letters on it that said "I'm a pepper" in that same font as the commercial.
I feel like this makes me want to get on eBay and find you a shirt. Don't be surprised if something appears at your house.
I'm a pepper, he's a pepper.
Okay, so how many commercials did you look at before you picked that one?
Well, I have a couple of others set aside in case we wanted to check them out. I do have. Oh, let me play one more. Tell me if you know this commercial. Here we go. Let's see.
Playing videos is hard, you guys. You have no idea.
It certainly is a big bun.
It's a very big bun.
Big fluffy bun.
It's a very big fluffy bun.
Where's the beef?
Some hamburger places give you a lot less beef on a lot of bun.
Where's the beef?
At Wendy's, we serve a hamburger we modestly call a single. And Wendy's single has more beef than the Whopper or Big Mac. At Wendy's, you get more beef and less bun.
Hey, where's the beef?
So is that a commercial you grew up knowing?
No, I feel like these are just a touch before my time. I remember the "Where's the beef" phrase, but I don't remember that commercial at all.
That is where it is from. Isn't that hilarious?
Where's the beef? It makes sense. One of the things I was thinking while I was watching that is, where are buns that look like that? Like homemade baked buns, because I want those buns back.
I do want those buns back. Tim said, I'm not allowed to say where the beef is by rule of law. So what's interesting is that was so much the rage, back in its day. It was such a catchphrase, where's the beef? We all knew it. We all said it. There was a video game, Teak just brought up to my attention, from like the late 80s. And you had to be 21 or older to play it. And as the threshold to determine whether or not you were 21 when you were entering the game is it had all these questions. And one of the questions is, where's the blank? And he was looking at me, he's like, Mom, how would anybody possibly know what this answer? It could be anything. I said, dude, it's beef. The answer is, where's the beef?
That is awesome. Can we just say that's awesome?
But it's interesting because that game is so old that even though he's like, essentially the age where you could play the game,
yes,
he doesn't know the answer to any of the questions because they're rooted back in time.
Yeah, it was built for that specific moment in time. If you Google will Google fill in beef as the first option?
Let's see.
Now we've said it out loud, so my phone will probably do it no matter what. But
well, I typed it in and I got to WHERE and it said, where's the beef commercial? But now I was just looking for that, so somebody else should try.
Oh my gosh, that's fabulous. I love it. Do you know, I have heard, okay, I started typing where's the and beef filled in. Where's the beef? Where's the beef commercial? Where's the beef lady? Where's the beef slogan? Where's the beef gif? Where's the 1984 beef? Now, for the record, in 1984, I was only 3, which is maybe why I
World,
remember
Kristin.
the commercial. I know, little Kristin.
Nope, that's awesome. That is awesome. Hey, you know, last week too, we were also talking about this great list of words that seem to be pretty much in use throughout Wisconsin, or at least around here. Did you get to use any of those words throughout the week?
We did. Well, I got to use them with you. So we are in a book club right now with some incredible people. We have somebody from Kansas City. We've got somebody from down in Virginia. We've got somebody from the UK with us. And then a couple of local people besides Tina and I. And yeah, we dropped a couple of those local words and got laughing to ourselves. So I promised the group we'd bring that list because I'm very curious to see how many of them they recognize.
Right. Are these just sort of locally colloquial, or are they wider known?
Yeah.
I did use the word confuzzled a number of times this past week.
Well done. I texted my cousin Nicole, who comments on the show frequently, because we're spending a girls' weekend together this coming weekend. And I use a number of words in my text to tell her how excited I was about it. So, yeah.
So you've got a whole ballyhoo planned?
Gotta just get them in. Yes.
You know, speaking of words, my son sent me this little tidbit. So apparently there's a chemical, and you can see it going across the top, and it gets cut off, and it ends with isoleucine. It's the chemical name for the protein titin, also known as connectin. It's apparently the largest known protein. It consists of 26,926 amino acids. It's made up of 189,819 letters and can take about 3 hours to pronounce. 3 hours.
Can you see my brain melting?
I think doesn't that like negate communication at that point?
Yeah, I don't. What? Somebody tell me, what is the benefit of that?
Well, I think because it's like a medical term, right? And so the more specific you can be, especially because it's like
a medical term that takes 3 hours to say, though. Like, what's the benefit of that?
No, right.
If it was an emergency and you needed that protein, it would take 3 hours to communicate that you needed it.
Yeah, I'm sure that's why there's 2 shortened forms, right? The titin and the connectin.
That word isoleucine, I think it was. Did you have to look up how to pronounce that?
Nope.
You just knew it because you're brilliant.
And if I'm saying it wrong, let me know in the chat.
I have to admit that when I first read this, if you put that back up there,
Yep.
I read the line, the largest known protein that consists of 26. And then it was a comma, and then it was like 926 amino acids, and I kept reading it like, what am I reading? Why? I feel like there's words missing. And now when you read it, you read 26,926. My brain was not computing. I think the first line made my brain melt. I couldn't handle the rest.
I'm with you on that. Actually, until I read it out loud, I was a little confused by that part too.
Yeah, I was like,
it's the worst place for a sentence break.
It is. And again, maybe if you looked it up online, it wouldn't be in that specific spot, but I was just like,
can you imagine being such a jerk in conversation that you like use words that take that long to say?
No, I don't think people would hang out with you.
I don't think so either.
Have you ever watched the show Young Sheldon?
No.
The girls have been watching it. This kid is brilliant, and he just goes through all the things as like a brilliant genius kid, and it's, you know, the social and the being smarter than his teachers and stuff like that. And he's like, it's staged like he's probably in like 2nd grade or 3rd grade.
It was hilarious. That protein name actually was used as the entirety of the dialogue in Martin Scorsese's last movie.
But yes, the Young Sheldon show is really, really funny. It's a spinoff of
Big Bang Theory?
Yes, thank you. Big Bang Theory. And I don't like normally sit and watch kid shows, but this one is so funny. I'm drawn to it.
Is it, I know it's a kid that's a lead. Is it for kids? is it like a kid's version of Big Bang Theory, essentially? Or
I don't know about that. It's a kids show, like it's PG, but I find myself drawn to sitting down and actually watching the episodes with the kids because it is funny.
nice. Do they have things like this? Like,
It's
26
shorter than that, but it's just, I don't know. The context of this kid being brilliant and knowing things that his teachers don't know or his pastor doesn't know or whatever else is just, the way they set it up is so comical. So
Tim says he's waiting for elderly Sheldon before he jumps on the Sheldon bandwagon.
oh, maybe.
I do love the fact of celebrating smart people, right? Especially like in school, celebrating kids' achievements. Sometimes I feel like we drop the ball as far as what we really should be focused on. But
Yeah.
Smart people are awesome.
Yeah. How can you lift them up? How can you use their little brains for good stuff? So
Yeah. Well, here's another fun. Let's see. This word, it said, the person who posted this said, I find myself, not for the first time, lost in a dictionary of Victorian slang. And this is still my favorite. Got the morbs. Means temporary melancholia. An abstract noun coined from the adjective morbid. Got the morbs. So I wonder if that's similar to us saying like a case of the Mondays, or you got the Mondays, right? You got the morbs.
yeah. So that was my vibe when I read it, was I got the morbs. I don't get the connection between morbid and melancholy. To me, melancholy is like Eeyore-ish. Mondays. Where morbid feels more deathy.
I mean, death is a downer, right? Like, it's depressing. I think it's kind of that connection.
Right. Yes, 1880. Great find.
The way it sounds too is it could have come right out of the 1980s. Like, I got the morbs, right? Like, gag me with a spoon.
I actually feel like it's something that would come out of like Clockwork Orange.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. Tim's comment's good.
Bummed into stasis. Yeah.
Morbidity. Yeah.
Just while we kind of veer on that topic a little bit, I do want to extend my sincerest condolences to Mary Hamachek and her family. We heard this morning that her dad passed away, and it's so sad.
Yes.
So we're thinking about you, Mary.
Yes. She is just a regular watcher and commenter and such a bright light normally. And so, Mary, we are thinking about you. Please know we're with you.
Hey, you shared another image with me, and I've been hungry ever since I saw this. And it's about a hot dish. And it does talk about a hot dish being prepared in a casserole, and that it typically has like a starch or a meat, canned or frozen vegetable, mixed with some kind of canned soup. It originates in the upper Midwest. Ah, that's us. Mm-hmm. And commonly appears at communal gatherings. So it talks about, one well-known one is a tater tot hot dish. Do you have a favorite hot dish?
I have a couple. Like, I don't discriminate in my hot dish. So let me start out by saying we don't call it hot dish. We call it casserole. But it is all the same. Tater tot casserole is 100% on our list for sure. I love to make, we call it for a crowd casserole, which is cream of mushroom soup, ground beef, corn, and noodles. Because you can feed a crowd, friends. You can just whip it together and feed a crowd. Sometimes we do chicken and rice and mixed vegetables. Sometimes I do ground beef with tacos and tater tots. I'm trying to think. How about you? What's your favorite?
Yeah, tater tot casserole is one of ours. This post got me thinking about potatoes au gratin, which I don't think technically count as a hot dish or a casserole because there's no soup component. So I would say tater tot casserole probably is our go-to.
Yeah.
As far as a technically correct hot dish.
I personally would not discriminate or put out like scalloped potatoes and hams, like pretty legit. It's got a creamy sauce, a starch, and a protein.
True. Right. Okay. Right.
And like when I make the ground beef, like taco one, it's like ground beef, diced tomatoes, corn, and tater tots. Yes. Nicole, the crowd casserole, yeah, girl, is worth every stomach pain I've ever had. Yeah.
Oh, dairy intolerance.
I think
So
there's medication for that.
I don't know if I've had crowd casserole. Tell me more about this.
Ground beef, cream of mushroom soup. I usually put sour cream in because I love the tang. Corn, noodles.
Yum. And Tim says tachos is his favorite hot dish. Essentially, tater tot nachos. It takes years off your life. 2.5 to be specific.
Yeah.
Yum.
Yes.
Well,
Yep.
I think that's what's cool about a hot dish or a casserole, right? Is you can be creative.
Right. I actually when I imagine hot dish, I imagine that it is whatever protein you have handy or left over in the refrigerator combined with whatever canned things you have in the pantry to make a quick one dish dinner. That is what I would describe hot dish.
Yeah, there's one that I used to make when Teak was younger, and it was like, I guess I'd call it like a chicken biscuit. I can't remember the name even, but so it's like chicken, and then there's cream of mushroom soup in it, and then there's usually like whatever frozen vegetables you have, and that's all mixed in. And then you put biscuits on top. And then as it bakes, the biscuits like get fluffy and a little crispy. It's almost like making a pot pie, but in a casserole.
I would totally call that pot pie dish, and we totally make that too. I forgot about that one. You know what else I forgot about is my mom called this goulash growing up.
I don't like goulash.
But
We
wait,
used to have goulash at every function.
just wait. But it might not be your goulash.
Okay.
My mom's goulash was ground beef spaghetti sauce, elbow noodles, peas, mixed together, casserole dish with mozzarella and cheddar cheese on the top. So it's kind of like pizza bake with peas in it.
Yeah.
I know it sounds weird. The peas in there are a home run.
That's funny. We used to have goulash at every family function too, and it was some variety of that.
Was it really? So you don't like it? You still
You
don't
know,
like it?
I don't know. I haven't had it as an adult, but I think when I was a kid, I was finicky. And so like the peas probably made it a non-starter for me. But Tim said hot dish must have canned peas and crumbled potato chips. I do remember liking hot dishes with potato chips when I was a kid. It seemed to redeem it.
So, Tim, is that in combination with any protein and cream soup then? Like you just throw it together, but peas and potato chips are required?
You know, did you ever have like green bean casserole with Thanksgiving?
Yes.
Where it's like green beans and that cream of mushroom soup, and then there's the dried onions on top.
Yes.
It's kind of like that, but instead of the dried onions, it's got the potato chips.
Yep, I get that, but there's no protein in that.
Oh, you could put a protein in there.
You could put bacon in there. That would be real good.
Nicole said, I think Dad calls that worms and dirt.
Goulash casserole is called worms and dirt. I have not heard that before. I'm going to need to confirm that. Worms and dirt.
Tim said, we used to make mac and cheese with cream of mushroom soup, replacing the milk with sliced up turkey franks. We called it gourmet. And then answering your question, he said, yep, cream of mushroom soup and ground beef with the chips and peas. Oh, yes, I've eaten that.
Okay. I can't. I'm going to try it.
Paula said canned tuna fish casserole with potato. Oh, yes. Paula, I do remember, yep, tuna fish casserole with the chips on top.
So this has been a recent debate in my life because I love tuna fish casserole and my mother loves it and my sister despises it and my children refuse to try it. But just like a month ago, we picked a night, Doug was traveling and we're like, that's it. We're eating tuna noodle casserole tonight. And it was so good.
Did it have chips on it?
My mom put potato chips in, peas, tuna. It was fabulous.
Yum. Yeah, I'm kind of craving that. I totally forgot about that. Paula, thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah. Hey, can I just really quick comment?
Mm-hmm.
Paula Fox was just in Iceland and she posted some insane pictures and it has now made me add Iceland to my bucket list.
Yeah, it is on my bucket list. That seems like a fascinating place to go. Paula, I don't know if, in the little chat, you can even just tell us some of the highlights.
I mean, she shared pictures of whales and penguins and glaciers and like all these incredible things. And I wouldn't say that it was not on my radar, but just not my world expanded thanks to Paula. How about that?
Yeah, cool. Welcome back, Paula.
Yeah.
Did they eat anything like tuna fish casserole in Iceland? What do they eat in Iceland? What was available to eat? That would be an interesting thing to know.
Snow cones.
Make your own.
Oh, Antarctica. See, I was not even in the right region. This is how much I know about world geography.
Oh, what? What were you doing in Antarctica?
Yeah.
That's definitely not on my radar.
Yeah, thank you. That would be why it's farther off my radar, Antarctica. The pictures were incredible. What a cool adventure.
So did you have to go through like via southern Chile to get there? Do you have to like fly into Chile and take a ferry? Can you fly directly into Antarctica? What does a person do in Antarctica?
I imagine that you just get dropped into Antarctica in some type of giant snowsuit where you can't put your arms down and they just plop you there on a glacier.
Paula said they do not eat penguin casserole, but maybe the explorers did. Tim said he's a pepper and he's off to work now. Don't get the morbs, ladies. All right, back at you, Tim.
So the challenge for the week is to use the morbs in a sentence.
Yeah, and my hope is that you don't get the morbs.
Nobody wants the morbs.
Hey, you shared this with me. Tell me what's going on here.
Well, I just saw this online. This is my girl, Annette, over at Intentions Boutique. She shared this, and I just thought they were really cool. They're custom Lake Michigan flannels, and the little flag thing on them says Lake Michigan, Manitowoc, Wisconsin. And, you know, sometimes around here, even though it's like we're in Manitowoc, it's hard to get like Manitowoc gear.
Right.
And definitely maybe not this cool looking. And I love she is like super great at having things in her store that fit a variety of sizes. So she has them size small through double XL, which I love.
What a cool PSA.
I know. So
nice.
Check her out, man. I wear a pair of boots from there on Saturday night. The kids had a fundraiser for school, and I got so many compliments. If you have not been to Intentions, go check it out.
And it's almost Valentine's Day. What a great thing to give.
I know.
Paula said, yes, they flew into Argentina, then took a ship across the Drake Passage. Very dramatic. Visited lots of islands.
Oh, my gosh.
So, Paula, were you there as a tourist, or were you there in some like kind of scientific capacity? How interesting. I just saw a video posted of a guy that is at the station that's down in Antarctica. He took a wet vest, stepped outside, and it was like immediately frozen.
It didn't look that cold in her pictures.
Mm.
But I will let her tell the story of what it was. But I'm just saying.
So Antarctica is Southern Hemisphere. Does that technically mean it's like their summer season?
I mean, I would think so. I think that makes sense, right?
Like
although on the poles, is it always winter?
Right.
Right? It never ends. I don't know.
Yeah. And Paula, why Antarctica? Like, what made you choose to go there? And have you been to Iceland?
Do that too. Hey, last night was a 100 women meeting for Manitowoc County, and last night was all about the arts. So only arts kind of related programs can put their names in the hat. Treehouse Theater, Cap Tapawingo, and the Maskers all spoke last night, which is always fun to hear about these organizations and what they do. But Treehouse Theater won last night, so I'm super happy for them.
Awesome. Do they have something specific that they're hoping to do with it, or?
Yeah, so they're some of the money will be used to support their scholarship fund. So they offer scholarships for kids who can't afford the participation fees. And then they have a big show coming up. So, there's some of that. And it was just, again, it's always like Cap Tapawingo, again, not on my radar. And some of my girlfriends were all like Google searching them. They have camps, and just, I love being able to hear about an organization and be like, wait, what do they have to offer? We can go out there anytime. You can reserve a cabin. You can stay. Like, it was just, it's always neat to hear about these organizations and what they're doing.
Yeah. And Treehouse, they're putting on Mary Poppins next, right?
Yes, Mary Poppins is in April. They have Aladdin Kids coming up. And as Paula just said, thank you. They're working on a middle school program for over the summer. So they normally do a summer camp for younger kids, like 4 to 14 or 4 to 13, somewhere in that neighborhood. And they're hoping to offer a summer camp just for middle school age kiddos. So
we were talking about fun words and things like that before. Tell us about supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Right. So Grace came home last night. My daughter Grace she's called a featured dancer in Mary Poppins, and she gets to sing supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, and they spell it out in the show. And so
Does it take 3 hours?
I cannot do it. I don't think it takes 3 hours. But they like have hand signals that go with each of the letters. And so she was telling me about it when she got in the car last night after rehearsal. And I just can't wait to see it. It's going to be so good.
Oh, that is fun. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I'm not 100% sure how to spell it.
Even though you sound of it, it's something quite atrocious.
If you say it loud enough, you'll always sound precocious.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Hum the little hum the lie. All right, we are going to leave you today with that little earworm of supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. If you're feeling up to it, if you're feeling precocious, go ahead and type the whole thing in the chat so we can see how it's spelled.
I love it. I hope you guys have a great week. Tina and I are on next week, Wednesday, Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day, and we have something special. So what we're going to do is after this show is done, we're going to have a post for the Women's Summit. So the Women's Summit is coming up, and that is March 9th. And thanks to the generous donation of Genesis Integrative Medicine, our friend Tara Hartman over there, she's got one ticket that she is donating. So what we're going to do is have a post about the Women's Summit. All you have to do is comment in the comments why you want to go. And we're going to take everyone that comments, randomly put them in a drawing, and do the drawing next week on the show to find out who's going to be the winner of that ticket.
I can't wait.
Yeah, join us. It'll be so much fun.
Okay, guys. Have a great week.
Thanks for joining us this morning for Coffee with Kristin and Tina. Kristin Odell of KLO. I'm Tina Prigge, Vagabond Creative Studio. We'll see you next time, everyone. Have a bodacious week.